Men, would you get a vasectomy? Why or why not? I had a vasectomy about a year after my wife had our second child. She had been on and off birth control pills for almost 15 years at that point, and I figured fair was fair. The only regret is that I didn't listen to my surgeon and felt well enough to go to work the next day. My scrotum swelled up like a football and it was quite uncomfortable driving home from work. I had a no scalpel one done on Monday. Drive home after a 30 minutes wait for local anesthetic to wear off. Been on standard painkillers and anti-inflammatories and wearing tight underwear for support ever since. There's a small little wound, scab, which is tender to touch but generally fine. The balls feel a bit bruised. And the site was a bit swollen yesterday, but that was because I stupidly lifted some heavy boxes at work and it soon went down once I rested at home. The process itself, absolutely fine. Compared to my wife getting another cesarean section or episiotomy, it's laughably low risk and low pain with negligible recovery time. I had one 2 years ago. In and out in 10 minutes. Yes, there was some lingering pain, but that has since subsided. The benefits to my wife far outweigh the chance of an ache for me. As others have said, husband either needs to get over his fear of the procedure or use condoms for the rest of his days. I am married and have 2 children. I was 32 years old when our second was born and decided we didn't want any children anymore and got the vasectomy. The country I live in, it was quite difficult as I was fairly young. I didn't only do it for my wife, but mainly for myself. I love my kids, but just don't want to have any children anymore. Even if for whatever reason we would separate, I just don't want to have any additional children. I know some men think it is unmanly or fear it would lower their sex drive. I experienced none of that, and I am happy to have sex without the fear of pregnancy. Wife had enough suffering for 2 pregnancies. Easy for me to have a simple minor surgery while high on some of the doctor's pills. Guy here sounds like a prick. I watched someone who had 3 kids in her 20s die in the ER I was working at after a tubal gone wrong in an outpatient center. I know it's rare, but with a vasectomy it's damn near impossible to end up in the ER. She needs to stop having sex with him. He's putting himself over her literal life and the lives of his children. Simple, if he doesn't want to get one, he can use condoms for the rest of his life. I just had no scalpel vasectomy last Thursday, January 26th. The reason? My wife's IUD, implant birth control, is due to come out. My recovery time for my vasectomy was shorter and easier than her implant. We'll both be in our 40s and have a blended family of 5 children. Had it done on a Thursday. Took that Friday off work and relaxed all weekend. Came back to work Monday. Some slight bruising and a little swelling, but work was fine. The procedure lasted maybe 20 minutes. I was numb beforehand and the only thing I felt was deep pressure. Later it feels like someone squeezing your balls a small sum. They give you lithium before you go in for anxiety. It was a no-brainer for me. I don't need to raise any more children from babies in my 40s. Good luck, op. I have already volunteered to get a vasectomy once we are done having kids. It is a simple, low-risk procedure that puts me in discomfort for maybe about 3 days. Compared to the alternatives, it just makes so much more sense. Female sterilization is a much bigger, riskier surgery. Just look at the mortality rates for the procedures, tells you everything you need to know. Vasectomies don't even have a mortality rate, because no one has ever died. Whereas female sterilization has a mortality of 6/100,000ths. In my opinion, a man is selfish or heavily misinformed if they ask the woman to get sterilized instead of getting a vasectomy themselves. If he wants to force her to choose the birth control, she should choose no more sex. If he wants to choose, he can choose one that affects him. He does not get to pick one that has a major impact on her well-being, especially with small children. Getting one next month. Don't need my active swimmers anymore. Had a vasectomy a few years ago. Process itself is really not that bad. You will be sore down there for a few days, and that is about it. Did not reduce libido, stamina, etc. Never wanted to keep my sperm as a pet, so snippy snippy. Some guys are really connected to their ability to produce sperm for weird reasons that I have no idea why. One of many reasons I broke up with my last partner was because he wanted to keep rolling the dice every time we had sex. I can't use contraceptives and he refused condoms. But then he claimed he was done with having children. I've also had my own kids. Confusing AF and too much stress for me long term, so I was done. I wasn't married to the man though, and we didn't share any children, so I was out of there. I had complications from my vasectomy. Anesthesia didn't work at first. I felt the incision. When they stopped to numb things again, it caused a lot of swelling. This led to the stitch falling out. So instead of taking a week to heal, it took a month. Testing afterwards, I didn't get a negative sperm result for 3 months. So 3 months of condoms. But it was still totally worth it. I had the weird outlier. I had a vasectomy and it's amazing to have worry-free sex. Dude sounds selfish. Her husband sounds very selfish. She's went through bringing 3 kids into the world. That is brutal on the body. And he expects her to do more, instead of getting a vasectomy himself. I feel sorry for his wife. She's not being unreasonable. Her husband is being kinda a dick. Granted, it's his body, so ultimately he has the right to say no. But considering the wife has so many hurdles on her end, it would be nice if the husband goes through the procedure. I know it's easy because I did it back in late 2018. My wife is a cancer risk and cannot take various birth control methods. Our doctor offered to tie her tubes after the birth of our daughter. Without missing a beat, I told the doctor, "Her pussy just exploded, doc. Let's leave her reproductive system alone for now. Give me a number for a dick doctor. It's easy to get a vasectomy." When I got it, I sat on some peas and played some BF4 for a day straight and was at work the next day. Like your friend, I have 3 kids. All high-risk pregnancies, and the last one almost killed me. I have endometriosis, and having been on birth control of various sorts, had now been told that I was at risk of a stroke if I took up estrogen-containing birth control. My husband got the snip. We could have used condoms forever, but my second baby, I had a 1 in 250 chance I'd die, and my third, I was in double digits. A 4th pregnancy would most likely have killed me, so the risk of pregnancy from condoms only too high. There is a minute risk to them of pain after the surgery, which can be fixed with another surgery. I think much less of men who won't have vasectomies, especially when they have been relying on women messing our bodies up with hormonal birth control. She's already put her body through hell with 3 difficult pregnancies. The very least he could do is get a vasectomy. I've had one and it's nothing, and it was with a knife. He needs to stop being a selfish asshole. In the situation you describe, I would, yeah. I don't like how women seem to always be the one who have to take the birth control and undergo the procedures, and some guys like her husband just assume they are the ones who always have to make the hard choices and suffer.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. TooAfraidToAsk is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.